Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our very last day of an initiative that we started in solidarity with the United Nations. They had an activism going on, which was about ending violence against women. And it started on November 25th and it ends today, um, December 10th. And we have with us uh, the very lovely Svetlana Ratnikova. She is the CEO of Immigrant Women in Business. She is the co founder of RTG Group Inc., social entrepreneur, mentor, impact investor. This is very little. This is just the outline, the rough sketch of who she is. You have to meet her in person. She's a powerhouse. She's electric. You can never sit still and be unproductive if you've met her. She will make sure that she gets you in momentum. And I am so fortunate and so happy that I got an opportunity to meet her and have her to lead me so lovingly. And I joined Immigrant Women in Business as a founding member to represent immigrant women from India. And it has been a fun ride with her. Welcome, Svetlana.
Thank you, Shireen. Thank you for your leadership, and let's get to it. We love acting and implementing the change. Let's see what we can do, moving audience and people who are watching, how we can together join forces to do something positive, impactful, tangible, sustainable, measurable, and that's what the mission of anything that we do today in the world to create positive, sustainable, measurable impact.
Yes, thank you. And then we have with us Aziza Zareh. Aziza is a women's rights activist, gender equality advocate, and a self made leader. Wow, that's powerful. She is a newcomer in the country with the intention to make positive impacts in the society through empowering and supporting women. And that is such a lovely way of existing. She holds a master's in business administration degree and over 17 years of experience on women's rights and gender based issues. She had the privilege to work with some of the renowned humanitarian and development organizations, such as the United Nations, USAID, AKDN, and Oxfam in different managerial and lead levels. Currently, she works as a business analyst with YM Inc. and volunteers with Immigrant Women in Business and Afghan Network for Social Services as board member. Welcome, Aziza. It is an honor to have you here.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Shireen, for having me
And
in this wonderful conversation. Uh, it's
thank
uh,
you.
it's a great pleasure and honor to be here talking about this special, or I would say important issue that you've started to speak on. And also, it's a pleasure sharing the screen with you and Svetlana, the two ladies that I look up to you guys. Uh, and then you both inspire me every day with your achievement, with your commitment towards empowering everybody and women especially. So, and looking forward to see how the conversation goes, and then people that were watching has so hopefully would be able to provide them some help if you want, or maybe some information regarding the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence or violence against women workers.
Thank you. Um, I must admit that Aziza was quite an inspiration for me to start this initiative. Actually, every year she takes on this initiative full on and she conducts an event in collaboration with the United Nations. with Svetlana at the hall every year. And I was inspired to do that. So I kind of connected with Aziza and asked her, what could we do? And she was really encouraging, and she asked me to go live and gave me ideas that I could interview different women or different people who could give invaluable information on how we could support those women who are dealing with violence behind closed homes. Thank you so much for this. I feel very good that there have been different speakers coming in every day and giving us a lot of great information that could be helpful to people.
Like
Svetlana,
all your
you are such a
yeah.
passionate. Thank you. Somehow the audio is a bit choppy, so I think it's a little bit delayed, and we're
I
just
think your internet is not.
speaking over
I
each
think your
other.
internet is not. Yeah, your internet is not like good. Maybe I don't know about mine, but your voice comes and goes. I don't know why.
I- It's choppy. Is it choppy?
A little bit.
A little
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
I think we keep
We'll
it
do.
brief. I
Okay.
think we keep it brief and down to the point, and we'll still be able to deliver the message.
Yes. So my question to you, Svetlana, is that you are a passionate leader. You lead with love. You are like, the mother who brings all this family of women together. Like everybody comes to you for love, because along with wanting to go ahead in life, it is very important to feel loved and to belong. I get that feeling of love and belonging from you. And I'm pretty sure everybody else who is in IWB will say that about you. What inspired you to start IWB?
Exactly what you said. Love to people. I knew that I could help, and that's how we start anything, any initiative, for profit, non profit. You feel like you have an ability to help somebody. It can be one person, it can be 10, or the higher you grow as a leader, the more connections, the more relationship you build, the more ideas and collaborative approaches come to you to be able to impact a lot of people. And I grew myself to that level of leadership. Again, being in this beautiful country, having a privilege to build a relationship with people. It's my honor to represent Canadian business, which is one of the most ethical, conscious, purpose-driven business arenas around the world. So it was just a matter of time that it came to me that it's time to open something for my sisters, but simply to simplify the message. Really, what we do in business, we often complicate is it's your ability that comes from your heart, from your passion to help another person. And that's how Immigrant Women in Business was born. I felt that I can help people. I have people who I know, a lot of people who I build relationships with. So I became the resource of a lot of people. I'm just one person. I have 24 hours like everybody else. I can help just a little here and there. But in mind, but collectively, if we bring Shirin and Aziza and another women on board, and collectively we have an ability to help more people. That's basically what where I came from.
And it's doing very well. It's doing very, very well.
Uh,
You know,
for businesses, it's for any initiative, whether you are running the church or non-profit, for-profit, whether you are captain of the sport team, leadership would be very important, right? The leader who leads by example, right? So I'm trained by beautiful mentors, and that's one of my message to all people. Um, today and always going to be surround yourself with those people who help you along the way, because by ourselves we cannot do much, right? So surround yourself with those people who will help you along the way, and move fast. Uh, if you want to create impact, if you want to create any type of business, we're talking about, if you want to create any type of visible, sensible, measurable impact, it's basic of anything you start. You move fast, massive action, right? You don't do, you do a lot. With this comes a lot of sacrifices, right? You sleep less, you eat less, you do certain things, but when you love people, like I know that you share with you this, Shireen, I know that what drives you, that's what got me when I met you. I felt that you have the desire from each and every cell of your body to help people, right? So,
Right.
uh, yeah, I mean that's basically, if you love people, you don't feel that that's a big challenge, right? I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, to me, each and every minute is
Right.
a, I love doing it. I love helping people. I mean, so is everybody else, right? The definition of
Right.
happiness is helping others, right? So to me, I don't consider it work. I consider myself very fortunate, and that's another way of leading by example, because this type of life that I'm privileged to live today available for everybody. Do you have to earn that way into that by smiling to people and doing a lot of sacrifices? Absolutely. So my power to all women, and to everyone who wants to step up and do something in a different shape or form. We are here for them. Here's our hand, resources, direction, guidance. We don't charge people for that. If people decided to do the business, then we talk about financials and how we can escalate. But initially, Immigrant Women in Business, it's a nonprofit organization. Our open heart and love to everybody who comes towards us at first.
Right. Thank you. That is awesome. And I have experienced that for myself. So I can definitely validate that. And a lot of people would. Hi, Sophia. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on and listening to us. Now, over to Aziza. Aziza, what drives you? What is your passion? What made you want to stand up for women? What made you want to be an activist?
Thank you, Shane, for that question. Actually, like my inspiration or activism or motivation towards women empowerment or gender equality came from seeing injustice, inequalities around myself, like because myself coming from an underdeveloped country, a war-torn country, a country where lots of issues still exist, and on the top of that, there's women are not treated equally, and they often like considered as second sex. For example, men are men, and then they are always superior, and women are always inferior to men. So I've seen that even like from my family. If I start, my sister got married at the age of 15 when she was in school at class 7, and then she stopped. By age of 15, she had a child. She was a child and had a
Wow.
child. So like this issue. Also, like I have seen lots of my friends, like they were being deprived from going to school because of their age. They were at the age of puberty, or maybe at the age that they should get married. Or actually, other than that, like I've seen too many women that they have been abused by their like male counterparts, being their
Partners.
husband, being their brother, father, whatever. So all this I've seen throughout my life. Like no, these things are not right. There is something like missing. This we as women, we are not women or girls. We are not like inferior to anybody. We should have equal rights, and actually we should have access to education. That's, I would say, for me, it's something that it gives you the power to know who you are, and then it gives you the power to know your rights, and also to be an active part of the society. So that's why seeing all these like injustices and inequalities around me, so I can know like I have to take a stand. I have to stand. I have to stand for myself, for my other girls, or maybe for
Right.
future generation, that my daughters or maybe my sister, whoever, my friends. So that's why I was very at early age, maybe at the age of 14 or 13, that when I was in Pakistan, so I joined an organization that they were supporting women empowerment or gender was not like a hot topic maybe, but of course women empowerment, women rights or something like that they were working on. So maybe yeah,
Right.
all those things made me to being an advocate or maybe do the activist role in order at least whatever the capacity that I have or maybe the ability that I have, I should be able to help or support other women that they have been marginalized, they have been neglected from their rights, or maybe they are facing sort of like different issues in their lives. So yeah, that made me inspired. So yeah, I am today, and then working with you and Svetlana, and so it's honestly a pleasure and very
Always, always, as yes, always, as Svetlana says, we are stronger together. So the more the merrier, and each one of us have different skills and talents to put on the table. So it's like having a feast of support. Like how you make different dishes for to put layers on the table to prepare a feast. So it's like that. Somebody's good with financial skills, somebody is good with health and wellness, somebody is good advising about cryptocurrency, somebody is good with leadership skills, and all of that is available on the same table. Pick what you like. So that is awesome. My next question to Svetlana is, I know the answer, but I want everybody else to hear it from you. I've heard this from you before. For you, financial freedom, your way of empowering women is making them financially independent. Like you are no nonsense about it. Cut out the emotion, get to work, that kind of stuff. Tell us, why do you think that when you mentor someone, mentor a woman to be an entrepreneur and help her to find her own financial support, how does that help a woman who has been abused?
Great question. I came from abusive relationship. I can only connect with my own story. Again, I'm only one person. In Russia, abuse is everywhere. So, like in most of the countries, Aziza knows. I mean, she's a leader. I mean, I didn't even know till Aziza came to me. I built my own life here. I didn't even know that half of the women around the world they don't have basic human rights. I learned it after. But my story is like anybody else's. I had a husband who is totally normal to yell and scream at me, at my child, to throw at your chair, and if soup is not salted enough, he'll put that soup right on your head. And this is
Wow.
part of the culture. I mean, when we come to Canada, that's why I'm super passionate about financial freedom, because even back in Russia, I was one of the first female entrepreneurs who opened my own business. So after 3 years building the business, I had so much money, I didn't know what to do with that because we didn't really have competition in Russia, right? We switched to socialism to capitalism. I was, I always say, I was one bottle of water in the desert. Everybody wanted, right? It was a different economy, and I experienced having money and having no freedom. Because was I happy in my personal relationship? No. Was I happy
Mm.
in my professional life? No, because no matter where you go, you number two. You're not number number one. They always give preference to guys, right? So when I came to this country, I came here to do more and become more. I'm an economist. I read a lot, and I made a conscious decision to come to this country to make bigger impact. But when I start building business in this country, when I got my financial freedom, I said this is the best gift that the world get to
Ever.
offer to people. And in Canada, Everyone can have that because I'm like everybody else.
Right.
I came to this country, I didn't speak the language.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the taxi driver how to get to place, right? I mean, I'm like
Right.
anybody else, I'm no different. So I came from the story, and that's one and only what I can bring to people. I've experienced that. I really didn't have support system. I had to do things on my own. I built the financial plan. I said, okay, I'm becoming a single mother. What do I need to do? Right. So I did make, I had my corporate career, but obviously, when you're an immigrant, corporate career goes slowly, right? You have to obtain new
Right.
skills. Aziza can relate to that because she's a newcomer. I thought, okay, in order to, for me to build wealth and to make an impact, I have to go into the business in order for me to grow in this country. Certain steps needed to be made. But back to people who live in abusive relationship, and there are a lot of them because Canada is a country of immigrants. More than half people who live in Toronto, they're from different countries. They bring this culture into this culture. There's nothing bad with
Right.
Russian men or Indian men. They're beautiful people. It's just the culture. A lot of it, we're very fortunate to be advanced here. And not to take an opportunity on this advanced economy, on having full spectrum human rights in this country is just not smart. I understand people, they don't do that. Maybe because of the lack of the support system. But again, I can connect only to my experience. I have
Right.
nobody. I really, my
Right.
motivation, back to you, Shirin, back to you and to the basic love. Love to my son. When I was watching that my son is lacking confidence, being yelled at every day, that's what motivated me. I said, no, 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 no. I'll make the plan. I'll make the financial steps. It did take me 3 years to
Right.
get to that level. Then I opened the door and I said, get out. Here's one way ticket back to Russia. And there's nothing really magical about it. Again, I'm not privileged. And by the way, even if somebody offers you here in Canada, there is a lot of wealth, do not take it. Build it your own. I mean, that's how you build the charisma. That's how you build skills when you take the risk. And yes, of course, there'll be sleepless nights, a lot of sacrifices, but without any complication. Again, we step up to be a better example for our kids, to give them the better future, right? Um, yeah, and that's a lot in my story. I can go on, but I want to simplify the message because people that look at me, oh, business. No, I'm
Right.
like everybody else. I love my son, and I said, okay, this is not going to go. He's not going to be that leader. He's not going to be confident in his abilities to find his passion, to find who he is in the world without me making those decisions, getting rid of the person who is not that person. He's a good guy, but he brought those experiences here and the expectations of people who used to live in those countries. I mean, the expectations are the same. Again, they're not bad, but then usually it's difficult to change for them. So that's why you make your
Right.
own decision. And nothing's wrong with
Right.
that. Back to people who live in abusive relationship, that's okay. You actually make
Right.
decision to divorce and move
Right.
forward. You do anything you possibly can in your relationship to work this relationship through. But if the person doesn't take that hand and moves forward, it's time to go. Life is too valuable, and time is very valuable. Life is too short. We have to move.
Right. Thank you. Wow, that is powerful, and that's a real like a punch. What I would say is I completely agree with you, and it's been a great journey working with you, starting from I met you last no in 2018, and then from 2018 to 2020, I've written so many books. I've spoken at so many events. You encouraged and mentored me to become president of Brampton chapter IWB, and now we have a movie on me, which we're going to talk about later. But it's all done and complete, and I've come a long, long way. And
Wow.
what really is liberating from your story, and anybody who's listening, focusing on your financial independence is the key to quitting a life that you don't want to live. It doesn't necessarily have to be abuse. Let's say you have a job that you're not happy with, but if
Yes,
you focus on your passion and you build a career out of it, so you already love what you're doing, money will flow. Your heart is in there. Your heart is in that right place, so the money will flow. We have Preeti Chopra in the house, another great, wonderful, amazing mother, and she did so much for her children. She is powerful, and she went through a lot. We had interviewed her a few days ago. Hi, Preeti, and thank you for hopping on and listening to us. We appreciate your presence. So, Svetlana, what I realize is financial freedom is is the key. It allows you the power to make your own life the way you want it to go. And then you have the ability to help others, because when you have abundance, you can share it. And it goes on. And you know how you said that you try to help people, and at least one person. It's never one person, because let's say you helped me, it impacted all my children. So
yes,
it's never one person. One empowered woman will always lift up everybody around her.
that's
That's
true.
the beauty of a woman who is empowered. She will never be on top and look down at others. It is the nature of a woman to nurture. She will bring her tribe, she will bring her babies, she will bring her community up. She will lift everyone around you in who she is being and how she is able to support. So, empowering women and ending violence against women is actually about building, lifting up a whole community. It is building capacity, as they say. It is building capacity of a whole community, of a whole uh, country, for that matter. And it's interesting that you mentioned the word human rights a few times. I would like to throw this question at Aziza. Today is Human Rights Day, and I know that you're passionate about and you're an activist in this field. Please tell us something about Human Rights Day.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like because they these 16 days of activism started on November 25th, which is International Day of Eliminating Gender-Based Violence, and today, like it's ending today, like on the International Human Rights Day. I think the International Human Rights Day is observed annually, as we know that on the 10th of December. So this day is always like it celebrates to acknowledge and to acknowledge the activists that they have been working towards human rights activities worldwide, and also human rights are there to acknowledge and maybe and respect everybody like equally. So, for example, there is no inferior, there's no superior, like in terms of being a human, right? But it's all has like as a community, as a society, it's our culture, maybe tradition that they like this segregate, maybe separate these men and women, maybe uh, they like they categorize people on their based on their world. For example, in classes, in categories, in different things. So human rights, I would say that as a human, everybody has equal rights in before the law, before the God that you have believed into. So there is no inferiority, there is no superiority among the human beings. But yes, of course, if you're like if you have talent, if you have the ability, if you have capacity to do something, that will make you
Mhm.
shine a bit. But other than that, there is nothing but of being superior to other person, that's why the Human Rights Day is celebrated to observe this and also to make people aware that everybody is equal. And then let's come together, stand together, and then whether that your will or maybe you're a bit privileged, I would say, just know the people that they're poor, and then they're like less privileged, and then that's why international human rights day is the center of, or maybe the art of sustainable development goals. Like I believe that you all know about the SDGs, which has like maybe different goals. So that's why like these SDGs always like it's the art of human rights day, and then whatever issues as a being like from the human rights perspective are arising, so that those issues are being considered in the SDGs. So that's why like it's been celebrated, and then it's I'll say like, as human beings first, and then second you're women. So let's come together, help whoever that they are in need. They need our support, or maybe they need our help. So I'm also treat everybody equally. Like this irregular, like irrespective of their gender, their ethnicity, their past, their wealth, their I would say their language, maybe the color that they belong. So like let's treat everybody equally and respect everybody based on the human humanity that we are in has. Yeah.
Well, thank you. So basically, human rights is about acknowledging that we are all sovereign beings. We are not, we are all sovereign. We are all independent, and we are not under, above, below each other. So that's what it is all about. And it was interesting. I googled human rights because we, a lot of the times, it's just a very common thing: human rights, human rights, human rights. And
Yeah.
we just talk about human rights, but we actually don't know many things about human rights. And it was after the World War ended that this was put together in a on paper, so that people have it well defined. And I read that there are 30 basic human rights.
Yes.
There
That's
are
basically
30
right. That yes, that every country should. I would say that most of the countries they have signed this human rights convention, so they're part of the human rights. Often these human rights, I would say that 30 basic human rights, but most of the countries, even they have legislated, maybe they have signed this convention with the United Nations, but they don't like. Mm, I would say they always like broke these things, and then uh, they don't go by those principles. That's why like human rights always I think on the goals that they have set up, or maybe the principles that they have set up, and then it always emphasizes the countries that let's go with the principle of basic human rights, and then once and from there we'll go to another level of advancement or maybe development.
Absolutely. And what I feel is, just like Svetlana is big on, making someone financially independent. That's her commitment, that, instead of giving someone a fish every day, teach the person how to catch their own fish. That's what she does. And throw them in the river. Go catch as many fish as you like, you know. So that's her motto. What I gather from you is that you are big about education, and but your empowerment comes from education. You talk about educating women so that they can have a better quality of life. However, I feel that education is not just limited to academics and reading and writing. Education also means awareness. Education also talks about knowing your rights. Education also talks about, this is, having the understanding that this is what a healthy boundary looks like. Education means knowing all of that, knowing when to stop a person, knowing what is abuse, understanding abuse. Like yesterday when Gila came and she was sharing about abuse, a lot of people don't know that they're being abused. She said, as Gila had said, a lot of people don't know. A lot of women think, oh, he's not
That's
beating
correct.
me, so that's not abuse. But here we tie in not understanding that if someone is depriving you of basic finances and you're working for it, that is abuse. Or if you're working for it and having a bank account and someone else is using your money, that is abuse. So, education, financial freedom, these are pillars of support available to women who are going through abuse. And all they have to do is make the choice of accessing them. There is a lot available. You just have to reach out. Now, my next question is, Aziza, since you're an activist and you're aware of all the abuse that is prevalent in the community with regard to women, what advice would you have for our sisters dealing with abuse? How
Well,
can we support them?
coming from like activist background, I would say maybe I've seen lots of gender inequalities, or maybe women being abused by unjust terms in the family, or maybe at the site, or maybe at their job level, their workplace. So my advice is
Right.
to always seek assistance. If you know, like first thing is to make sure what the abuse is like. To the first thing is to educate yourself about the violence, about your rights, and then once you know that, yes, so if somebody is like, if you're going through an abusive relationship, or maybe abusive like job, I would say, at your workplace, so it's always great to seek assistance from the expert that you know. There is like in Canada, there's plenty of like resources that you can use, from the police, being the shelters, being the transition outreach, being the ministry that they have on the status of women. So there is plenty of like resources, and also there are like all there are so many sisters like us, the group that we have, like there are lots of sisters, they have basic knowledge of the what the abuse is, or maybe how they can be linked to another source. So for from my perspective, is like first you have to educate yourself about all these issues that you're facing. Is this called abuse or no? And then once you feel that, yeah, you're being abused, so it's always go a good, like before it goes towards to another degree, it's always great to take like help from the experts. And then also there are like plenty of resources by the government, by the non-profit organization, and different like groups that they're supporting women, like they're facing sort of abuse, maybe violence at different levels. So yeah, and then uh, so it's always like it's just a click, maybe a Google search, just maybe searching the Google. So you'll find a list of like resources that they can be helped. So for me is that my advice would be educate yourself about your rights, educate about yourself that what means by abuse. So and then once you feel that this you're going through abusive things in your life, so it's always good to take a stand, and then do whatever you feel that that it should be done. So that's what I would say.
Right. Thank you. And I feel like, when somebody is going through an abusive relationship, it is very, very hard for them to process things. It's very hard for them, even if they know that this is the right thing to do. Yes, we can educate ourselves. Yes, we can reach out to help. There's fear and there's confusion. These are two major factors that don't allow, they kind of impact your ability to make healthy decisions. And as yesterday Gila was saying, that there are women who know what is the right thing to do, but there are many factors, the fear, the children, what will happen to them, or their love for their husband, and they are wrapped up in all of that. It's a process, no. So to any woman who is in an abusive relationship, if you haven't made the decision to quit, I urge you to understand that there's no wrong. It's not wrong to do that. But what we can do, or what we can support you with, is to understand that do small things every day, baby steps every day, till you are strong enough to spread your wings and fly. uh, Preeti made a comment: women need to know what supports are available and have the ability to access them without the knowledge of the abuser. Absolutely. Your cell phone is your
Can I
biggest
share a comment here? Yeah. So
sorry.
I'm saying, can I comment? Can I share a comment here? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay.
Preeti made that comment. Your
Yes.
voice is choppy. So she
Oh,
made the
sorry.
comment.
Yes. So I'm saying like
So
as I mentioned earlier, yes, yes. So as you say that not like women when women are being like abused, so certain times they cannot decide what to do, and then if they don't know like what resources are available. For example, women like us, like the sisters that we are here to help other sisters. So if we see somebody that they're facing this, you're doing good, you're going through this process. So it's always good to reach out to them and then talk to them instead of they coming to us. So certain times, like for example, in my society, so it's not good like to share your problem with another woman because it's like maybe it's just most of the time women like we feel that we are being like we are doing wrong. That's why we are facing this issue. Or maybe it's always like blaming ourselves rather than see what all these are. So I would say that if you see somebody that wants to do this one, it's always good to reach out to them, talk to them. It's not always. It's I wouldn't say that always it's a good idea to just leave the house and go. It's not the solution. I'll say that could be one of the solution, but I would like to see that what we can do in order to minimize this issue, or maybe to do something that these the process can go to the other way. So that's something that I have realized that we women we cannot disclose everything very easily to another person. And also, most of the times we feel that we are doing wrong. That's why you're being treated differently. So that's why,
right.
as a woman activist or maybe gender equality activist, so it's our duty we should talk to them if we know somebody is going through, and then help them in a way that to support them to get through this process.
I hear you. So but the next question is not question. I think it is a question from Sophia. She says adults with disabilities experience abuse and struggle with understanding what to do because they are unable to process what is happening to them. It's kind of shocking too, because at a later age of their life when they've already served their family and done their share, and then suddenly now it's their time to receive, and that's when they face abuse and they struggle with understanding what to do with it, because earlier they could take care of themselves, now they are not in a position to when they need help. So they're unable to and especially if they have disabilities, so they're unable to process what is happening to them. That is true. And then Sophia asks, how do we help?
Yeah.
So Sophia, I feel like I've done that with in immigrant women in business, and I remember Aziza did that too. It's not just helping adults with disabilities or with no disabilities, anybody who is in a difficult situation. If you have the passion to help, you will find a way.
That's true.
You will find a way to help. The way will come to you, and the best way to find out how to help anybody is to walk in to an institution that helps. Just walk into an institution and say, I am passionate and I really want to help. What can I do to help? I
Yeah.
remember Aziza and Svetlana, we went to shelters.
Mhm.
We've been with IWB women to shelters, and I remember I had just got my book, and I gave tons of copies of my books away to the women in the shelter so they can read and educate themselves and also feel that they are not alone. This is something that happens and it's nothing to feel guilty or ashamed of. And if I could get out of that situation, so can they. Like that, there were Svetlana, if you can remind us, there were certain things we did at the shelter. I think
Yes,
we offered
absolutely.
clothes.
As a matter of fact, we are going on the 18th to our shelter here, downtown Toronto. Uh, We have actually naturally attracted a couple of sponsors who wanted to give them food, who wanted to give them clothes and shoes, big companies, just simply because it's a second year of ours. But yes, we go there ourselves, and from next year we'll be conducting Zoom trainings for them, opening up the resources, technology. Helps us a lot. And again, I can relate to not having technology and not going anywhere. I mean, where would I go? Your English is a second language. You don't have friends. You don't have network. You live with the abuser, and then where you go? You go to the library. I mean, where to start? Today, thanks to technology, you can just Google
Yes.
I need help, and there are a bunch of resources will be available. I need free help. So help is available. So we do work with shelters. The three of them. One we are going on the 18th. Anybody who wants to participate, do that. And from next year, we're starting a bunch of Zoom webinars, educating them on exactly what just Aziza said. Because again, they're French speaking. Now, most of them English is about 6, 7, so that's why they have challenges to find their corporate careers and everything else, right? Because English is not very good, and they're in Ontario,
Right.
so we're facing those challenges. But yes, I mean, this is today we are through power of technology, we can do a lot of interesting things and escalate the change.
Yes.
Right, right. And Preeti suggests that report the abuse to reliable sources who can step in to remove these adults with disabilities. I think that would be the last resort, because sometimes, even though they're being abused, some people prefer to be with the family. It's a personal choice. And sometimes through intervention, dialogue, communication, certain matters can be resolved. Some certain, misunderstandings can be, eliminated. So I wouldn't say the first step would be to report the abuse. The first step would be to establish a connection with the person being abused, to because there are many sides to a situation, and no abuse is justified, by the way. No abuse is justified, but sometimes, maybe, I'm just hoping, maybe that some intervention and dialogue would help. It could be like, a warning that I know what you're doing. So maybe that could help. But I'm not too sure. Like Preeti, you might have some other valuable uh, information to provide us that could help. We are open to learning and listening. This is what this platform is for. And we're just trying to figure out, there nobody knows everything. We're just trying to figure out what could we do to end violence against people in general. And Svetlana, I feel like it's not enough to be able to just earn money and have financial freedom. I think it is very important for women to educate themselves on managing their money as well. Because money will come, but how do you preserve that? How do you, like, money will come and then you spend it? Money will come and you spend it. How do you preserve that wealth, and then take that money that you've preserved to earn money for you? How do you replicate that money in your life? That you take the money and let money do the work for you. That education is very important for those who are disempowered in whatever way they are. And so it is very important not just to, okay, I have a crisis now, I have a problem now, I will go and look for help, and then once my divorce is done, once I've got my money, okay, bye, now I'm on my own. If you want to grow, and if you want to keep growing, if you want to keep getting better at whatever you plan to do, you have to network. Svetlana, tell us about the importance of networking. You are the queen of networking. Very resourceful. Very
Yes, it's not
resourceful
what you know,
person.
it's who. It's not what you know, it's who you know. This country is any business leader, any leader, period, will tell you that the form of progressing, moving forward is always done through the power of networking. You need to have people around you who help you along the way. That's why you see
Right.
me one and only time I become a little bit on my toes when I see that my members and my leaders, they're not networking. If you stop networking, you are stopping expanding a resource base for people. We
Right.
have to, I constantly network, right? Because
Right.
I'm opening more help for the people that I know, right? The
Right.
more
Right.
this is basic, and Canada is one of those beautiful countries where we
Yes.
can lead with ethical businesses, ethical initiatives, and the form of ethical and long-term impact, business, and success, always in building relationship with people. Only two things we always do: build relationship, provide value, do something what's good to people. Nothing complicated. If you see, you find a product, okay, create your own product or service that you see that is helping people, that's a good start. So you have one customer, then you do financial projections, then you have 10 customers, then you have 100 customers, or 300 customers, you have a business, right? But it
Right.
comes through relationship. Any valuable products and services you bring to the marketplace, do not waste money on advertising. Canada is a relationship based country. How did you find the jobs here? 90%.
Right.
I do it all the time just by calling people. Okay, here's the lady. She's looking for the job. Oh, I was looking for somebody good, driven, who is prepared to get things done and clever. Okay, I got one for you. That's it. That's how it. So anything, career wise, business wise,
Connection.
and the beauty of that, it costs nothing.
Agree. Agree.
It costs nothing.
Right. Right.
Advertising costs money. This is cost nothing, and this is how Canada works. You wanna clients for your business, for you wanna find better husband. I always joke with my ladies. How do you find them? Then you won't be able to meet them at the bus station. No, it doesn't work like that in Canada. You don't sell here your beautiful legs. You sell your movement. You move, you start doing things. Guess what? Because people who you're looking for the better husbands, but I always hear it from immigrants. Oh, I got rid of my husband because a lot of our ladies, they're single ladies, right? Where are those guys? Start moving because they're watching you. If you don't move, there are plenty enough blonde, beautiful girls smart guys, you want better husband, start moving. They'll come to you and they say, yes, I want to be your partner. I want to be your friend. And that's how you grow into the different form of love that exists in Canada. But it's only done through relationship. Both business and personal progress comes through building relationship and
Right.
moving every
Moving.
day.
Yes.
Right. Very true. And I was looking at the United Nations Women website, and I came across a page where they had a list of, this is to address the question of, what help is available. I had discovered a whole list of phone numbers, helplines to call for women who are going through abuse and violence, and they have the global list. They have the helpline numbers for every country. Most probably, what I'll do is after we finish our conversation, maybe I'll key that in the comment section. So if there's anybody who wants to access that, you can have that. Your phone is your access. Your
Yes.
smartphone is your access to everything.
Yes.
That it's how willing you are to take that. Everybody knows there are social workers, there are community centers in every neighborhood, there are social workers, there are different community centers for different like there's a South Asian community center, there are different South Asian legal clinic, there are different institutions that offer free service to any woman. Like, if you don't have money, that is no excuse for you to put up with abuse. You can still fight your way through. You don't have money to pay a lawyer, you can apply for a legal aid certificate. So your first step is to open the doors for yourself. There are people waiting outside the door to help you, but if you do not open the door, nobody can come into your house
That's
because your door is shut. So and and that will happen when you are ready, when
yes.
you have hit your rock bottom. What rock bottom is for you is, you know best what is rock bottom for you. But my only urge is that if you think that you don't have money, that is no reason in this country to put up with abuse. That's something I learned from my own life experiences. And having said that, is there any last words or comments from either of you? Any message that you would like to give? Svetlana, would you like to go first? Any message for the women who are watching this?
Call us anytime. We'll give love. We'll put smile on your face. The simple things, they work the best. That's why we love and very excited to see your movie, Shirin, because the basic, we call it form of marketing, emotional connection. People, they make decisions because they emotionally connect with you, right? So
Right.
the power of storytelling, that's what we are doing all over right now. And thank you again to technology, to our sponsors, ethnic channel, and all the people who come on board to escalate the power of storytelling. And this is
Right.
extremely important because people, they don't make those logical decisions in a state of mind where you are abused, but they always make emotional decision because that emotion, seeing you, and they say, "Oh, she could do it, I can do it." So let's be
Right.
those people. Let's multiply our channels of love, of a little bit of tidbits of love spreading all over. That's why collaborative approach, I find it's very important. That's why initially was in my mind. I mean, how we can help more people only together, right? Because together we merge together our established networks, we collaborate organically, and that I believe that it's. Along with technology, along with leaders like yourself, guys, I think that we are in a absolutely outstanding times right now. Social enterprise is massively on the rise. Impact investors, they're coming to the field to support women empowerment, to fund initiatives like yours, guys. So uh, moving forward, we are going to make the world a better place, and we are doing it right now. It was a
Absolutely.
little bit of that challenge because we were kind of getting from, I always say, we were getting from money driven economy, that the definition of capitalism used to be money, so that's why we have what we have right now. Nobody was
Right.
doing it for people. But the shift started about 9 years ago with millennials, and now we already have new business models. We have a new way of thinking. It's going to be a remarkable journey for all of us, and we'll have an ability to help a lot of people. I'm super excited, and to jump on board. Let's go. Thank you, Sharon, so much.
Thank you. And you have an event happening today,
Yes, we have an
online,
event
an
happening
online
today.
event.
Yes, we have an online event happening today at 5 o'clock. Yes, a lot of people registered. It'll be super exciting. It'll be recorded for those who cannot attend. It will be recorded. But yes, absolutely. Again, that's networking, right? I mean, you network,
Right.
you listen to
Right.
people.
Right.
Oh my goodness! I mean, she came to this country and she was abused. Oh, and I'm abused now. Svetlana can help. I got today 3 phone calls, and I'm not in the field. It's not my field. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's the power of that, and it's never underestimate the power of that. Again, back to simple things of life. You change somebody's life, it gets
Right.
bigger because they change the life. You exactly what you said. Because sometimes when they get on the business side of things, business things and all the investors and projections and uh, back to basic. That on the ground. We are not waiting for the change from anybody. It comes from us. We step up and do things. Look at you. Look at that, Aziza. Did anybody
Yeah.
knock at your door and said, "Siri, let's go make the world a better place"? No. It's
No.
you. It's your heart. Who did anybody knock at my door? Oh, Svetlana, let's empower me. No, we do that. Let's do it together. Let's do it with the same amount of passion, and let's multiply our effort so we can help people
Right.
not only in
Right.
this country but in other countries around the world.
Right. And no action is little or more. Even, like Preeti made me think, when she said, how can we help? Even listening, sometimes even being a listener. All that a person who's being abused, they know that they have to take action, but all they want is a listener, holding that space of no judgment and allowing that person to just, kind of it's therapeutic to have someone to listen, because most women who are being abused are not being listened to. What they are saying, the person who's abusing them is not listening to them. So listening is a big therapy. Even having someone to listen, it gives them a clearing, because now they've emptied that heaviness from their mind and they've given it to someone, and then the other person listened, didn't give any judgment, and maybe said just one word and said, I hear you, or I feel you, or you're not alone. Just that could flip someone's life.
Yes.
And
Just that
that's
alone.
what you do as a coach, right? I mean, as a coach,
You're right.
I mean, that's what you do
Right.
at first. You listen, and yes, I mean, I know that you help people with money, with no money, just come and you listen, and this is the basic
Right.
form of moving forward. Actually, that you
Right.
brought this topic because yeah, you're the one. I mean, call Aziza, call. You listen. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
basic things in marketing. When we go see clients, we listen. I mean, what are we going to
Right.
write in a proposal? It's like anything. It's relationship. Listen, sit down and open your heart and put
Right.
your
Right.
put your kindness on a plate. And here we go. And you're already changing people's lives. And we all can do
Right.
that. But
Right.
often people, oh,
And
well, what can I do? Domestic violence and this and that. That's what you can do. Perfect.
you,
Beautiful.
you don't have to change the
Listen.
laws of this country. You just have to show compassion. You don't need to do big things like, you change the laws of the country. Just listen.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
they, as Preeti said, they want to be seen and heard. Yes, listening allows them to think clearly for themselves.
Yeah,
Absolutely, Shireen. Yes.
100%.
And and it's not for someone who is being abused, it's also for anybody who is dealing with something. Even, sometimes talking to someone is like thinking aloud.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't even have to tell the person, what are you saying? The
Yeah,
person will be like, wait, what did I just tell you? And they will feel the ridiculousness of what they're doing by allowing themselves to be
yeah,
abused.
yeah.
So holding that space, simple things can
Yeah,
make such a
absolutely.
huge difference. Over to Aziza. Any message?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for this wonderful conversation. So, I hope that whatever we have shared is some sort of beneficial for people that joining us, maybe seeing us through your live or maybe a YouTube later. So, my message to everybody, especially to women, are like I think, as Svetlana said, we are in a very good time where we are connected globally, no matter where we live. So like it's all like connected. You are all connected by a phone or maybe by a call that can be connected. So my message is like let's all come together, stand together, help the people that, especially women that they need our help, and then use from contribute towards the empowerment of women and empowerment of other groups. So as a PT, and you say that yes. So most often, the first step towards helping a woman or maybe a person that being abused is listen to them. Like I would say that helps a lot in order uh, to whatever burden they have in their heart or mind, they just disclose and then they get rid of that. And once they get rid of those things, so then they can start the process of thinking again. And then maybe after that, they will be able to think differently and maybe take a wider decision. Yes, for as the initiative that we have started. So it's that everyone of us, it's our duty to talk about these issues, discuss these issues, and also take practical actions to eliminate or reduce gender-based violence among the communities we live, or maybe the communities that we belong. So I think we need to take a step, and we need to come together, and we need to help each other in whatever way we can. So my last thing is that my perspective, and I believe, is that future belongs to women, but if we are together, and then the future will be ours. No matter what aspect of development we are, being it in financial, being it in leadership position, or maybe technology, wherever. But I believe the future, women are the future of the world. So let's come together and be together. And as the like motto for our immigrant women in business is that stronger together we are stronger. So, and that's the perfect model that we should carry on, and we should work towards that. Thank you for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Svetlana, and thank you, Aziza, for giving your time and contributing to ending violence against women in your own way. And I'd like to conclude by saying that you want to be a. This is my own personal experience because I've been a teacher before, and I feel that the best teaching is in your ability and willingness to learn.
That's true.
If you're a good learner, you will be able to teach well. The best leadership is in your ability to serve.
That's
If
true.
you serve well, you will lead well. Here is a cheat sheet for all those women who are going through abuse. You feel disempowered to stand up for yourself, take on standing up for someone else, and then you'll get a glimpse of your power. You're feeling disempowered and you think, oh, I'm in this abuse and I cannot get out of this situation. Try standing up for someone else or something else. Support a cause. Try that. This is a cheat sheet for you. Try that. Try standing up for your children, or try doing something for people who've gone through cancer. Try doing something for someone else. You will be surprised at the power you will show and demonstrate to people. Whatever you're passionate about, stand up for that, and then you will find a way of standing up for yourself. But having said that, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all those who listened. Please share this video with anyone who you think will benefit from knowing these wonderful ladies women who are doing things in the world to support other women. Please, tag the videos. Please share the videos, like the videos. And with this, we conclude the initiative of coming live every day. I hope you learned a lot from it. There were some very wonderful people who hopped on and who contributed to the awareness. And I hope that everybody learned something from it, and it was of some use to people. Goodbye, everyone, and stay tuned. I will come back again with many other different initiatives, and let's keep this going.
We
Bye,
are
everyone.
stronger together.
We are stronger
Together.
together.
Yeah.
We are stronger together. Yes. Bye bye.
Thank you.